Hello, my name is Luis Carlos Ochoa Sandoval. My ED is 2012-22-88. I'm gonna talk to you about the manufacturing process flowcharts. A flowchart is a graphical or symbolic representation of the process. Each step in the process is represented by a different symbol and contains a short description of the process step. The flowchart symbols are linked together with arrows showing the process flow direction. A flowchart has three important parts: head, body, and summary. Head, this is part where we put all the information important, like the name process, our name, might be our number of page. The body. The body is the part where we put the process by parts. Each part has our symbol, like Terminator, and a oval flow chart shape indicating a start or the end of the process. The process. A rectangular flow chart shape indicating a normal process flow step. Decision. A diamond flow chart shape indicating a branch in the process flow. Connector. A small labeled circle flow chart shape used to indicate a jump in the process flow. We use a letter A. Data. A parallelogram that indicates data input or output for a process. And document used to indicate a document or report. And we finally have the summary. The summary is the last part of the flowchart. It's the end of the process where we put a rectangular with all the time you use for the process. Thank you very much. Bye.
Hello, my name is Juan Oliva Valle, and I will talk about the benefits of the flowcharts. The flowchart facilitates the obtaining a clear vision of the process, improving the understanding, and it can focus on a specific within it. Allowed to define limits of a process. Facilitates the identification of needs. It is easier to determine their needs and adjust the process to your satisfaction. It is to stimulate analytical thinking at the times to study process. It provides a more effective method of communications. It is an excellent reference for establishing control mechanisms and measuring the process. It facilitates the study and implementation of actions that result in improved time and cost variables of activity. It is the indispensable starting point for improving action, start, or reengineering. To prepare the flowchart, follow these steps. Determine the process diagramming. Define the degree of detail, information, main activities, secondary, or decisions. Identify the sequence of process steps. Prepare the diagram. Review the diagram. Example: production of pallets, assembly machine, production of cars, etc. Recommendations: to make the flowchart, everything should be handled in the same unit of measurement. For a time, use only seconds or only minutes for the entire road. For distance, using meters or centimeters or miles. Everything must work in lots or in units. Do not mix, because this can cause problems like confuse the workers. And now, below are three examples.
Hello everyone, my name is Carlos Andrés Escobar and this is a part of our technical language project. I'm going to explain you the process of making soda, including the way they clean up the bottles and get them in boxes, as we see them in the supermarket.
We can see the whole process. Here I can show you that it has a total of 45 operations and the duration is of 33.46 minutes. So I'm going to explain from the start. First, we have the area of discharge, where all the materials come from. Then we have the line to get them into the bottles. Okay, they are running through a band, and then we take off the old boxes. I mean the used boxes that come from the supermarket. And then here we can see the boxes are taken off. Then the bottles are sent to the wash machine for taking all the waste that we don't want to in our sodas. Here we can see there is an inspection. The worker must see if there is any solid waste in the bottle, and if they are okay, they are sent to um, the washing with sodium hydroxide. With that process, we can make a clearly cleaning the bottle. Then we have the rotation of the bottles. Meanwhile, we can see here the process continues with the soda itself. We have here the water with CO2. We have the filtration of our product with sand and with activated carbon for cleaning up by adsorption. Then we have here we must decide the area of preparation. Half of the preparation is going to be with the syrup and the sugar, and the other with the CO2. Then we can see here that the process is going to be unified here again when we have already the bottles, clean bottles, and then we are going to add the syrup and the CO2 to the water in the bottles. We are filling up the bottles and we are taking them to an inspection where they are going to be inspected. The level of the liquid inside the bottle is going to be inspected, so we cannot receive less product that we paid for. And meanwhile, we are here looking for the fabrication of the boxes. We can build the boxes, and we have to clean up the materials for the boxes. We unite the boxes with glue, and then we have to unify the process with the bottles. Then the last process here is to get the bottles inside the boxes and send them to the supermarket here. The product runs for a total distance of 70.95 meters, and that's all for the process for making soda, cleaning bottles, and making the boxes. Thank you.
Hello, I'm going to explain you about a flowchart, which is a technical flowchart about how you can fix a manufacturer situation. Okay, so this is the example. You have a cell phone company and you are just about to release a whole new phone with all the features that the people and the customers now are looking for. So, okay, you release this phone, but you realize that there's a specific problem with the data connection. So after you release the phone to the market, there are a lot of customers complaining about the data situation. So since this is one of the features that the people these days use the most, you need to find out the way to fix that as soon as possible. So using a common language and a really basic symbol and graphical way, you just create a flowchart that will follow a guideline in order to fix the situation. So it comes like this. You have the situation with the data, and then you know that there are some specific steps that will fix this as soon as possible, and that for sure they work, and in case they don't, you will always have an alternative. So you just go ahead and follow the steps, and these are the steps. In the beginning, you check the data connection, it is not working, so you just try to power the phone off and on. If it does not work, it will take you a few seconds to wait for the phone to be back on, then you go to the next step. The next step is to check just the APN settings of the device. You check if they are properly set up, you move to the next step. If they are not properly set up, then you need to go to the next step to set up them correctly. That will take you around 4 to 5 minutes for you to set up this correctly. After that, you check the data connection again. If it is working, then you find out the situation and you fixed the issue. But in case it does not, then you move to the next step. You can power shock the device by removing the battery of the phone. That will take you around 1 minute. While you release the battery, you put it back in, and then you power the phone on again. After that, you check if it is working again. If it is, well done. You just find out the solution about the issue. In case it does not, you have the last alternative to send a replacement device. In the other way, if the APN settings are already properly set up, then you don't need to set up them again. So you will save some time there. So you just go ahead, power shock the device as well. It will take around 1 minute, as I said before, and then you just try again the internet settings. If it works, you have just resolved the issue. If it does not work, you just send a replacement phone, and the replacement phone will take around 5 business days. That means around 7,200 minutes for them to receive a new phone and suddenly have the issue resolved.
Today I'm going to give you an example of flowchart applied to a manufacturing process of a product. To be more specific, desktop pallets. The company name is Logistic Services Company Anonymous Society. All begins with the description of process wooden pallets exchange 1 per 1.2 meters to enter, not to reversible, because that is precisely the most demand of the market. The raw material which accounts is divided into wooden beams and for tables. To make a detailed analysis of the production of pallets, we use several techniques used in the description of the process, and a distribution is made on the ground to get a better idea of the workplace. First, the timber is placed in the storage area of raw materials. Then, crossbars are taken from the storage area to the area of the pendulum by a forklift. After a number of processes, the wood is then transported to the place of assembly by the loft key. Then, once the beams and the tables are next to station assembly, proceed to assembly of the pallets. This job has 4 workers and has a capacity of 2.10 minutes per pallet. Then, conforming parallel 10 pallets, the lift moves them to the storage area of finished products. For this procedure, there are three flow charts. First is one for the pallets, the wood, the assembly of these parts. The other flow chart is to the crossbars, the assembly of them, and the third flow chart is to the assembly of the pallets with the crossbars.